Okay, we're live.
All right, trying to pull up my agenda real quick. Well, while I'm doing that, I do know, I'm gonna go ahead and say we're going to start the October 21st, 2021 meeting of the City of South Fulton Zoning Board of Appeals meeting. Dana, I think the first thing on the agenda is the roll call.
Correct. And I will start now. Mr. Johnson,
Here.
Mr. Mathis, Mr. Carson,
Here.
Mr. Elias,
Present.
Mr. Ham,
Present.
Ms. Harris,
Present.
Mr. Dawson, and Ms. Jenkins. You do have a quorum.
All right, I do believe the very next thing on our agenda is the approval of the most recent minutes, the August minutes.
I make a motion that we approve the August 19th, 2021 Zoning Board of Appeals meeting minutes.
I second that motion.
All right, properly moved by Mr. Carson and seconded by Mr. Ham. Any discussion? Nope. All right, Dana, we're ready to vote.
Okay, Mr. Mathis, I'm sorry, I can hardly hear you. I see you. Mr. Carson,
Yes.
Ms. Elias,
Yes.
Mr. Ham,
Yes.
Ms. Harris,
Yes.
that vote passes.
All right. No, with no old business, we will move on to new business. Petition hearing for V21-004 120 Russell Drive. Staff.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. For our public comments, to everyone watching, if you have any comments on this petition, please send them to us via email. You can reach us at planning@cityofsouthfultonga.gov, and we will read your comments as part of the public hearing. So the first case we have for you today is V21-004. It's an administrative variance at the address 120 Russell Drive. Our zoning code dictates that pools are located in the side or rear yards. This particular applicant would like to place a pool in the front yard. There are some topography challenges on the site. The septic system is located in the side yard. And additionally, it's important for the family to have ADA access to the pool. And so that's why the family and their contractor would like to place the pool in the front yard. Staff's recommendation for this is approval with conditions. And we would like to request that a 20-foot undisturbed buffer be placed immediately adjacent to the perimeter of the pool along the western corner of the property line. And a little more information for you. This is the property, Russell Drive here. It has a long driveway and they would like to place the pool in this area here. The family actually owns all of these parcels, 1, 2, 3, 4, actually owns 5 parcels. The house sits back very far from the street. So this is Mooney. This is the driveway and the house sits on the rear parcel. These adjacent parcels in front of the property are undeveloped at this time. Our logic for thinking about the buffer was that if this lot is developed in the future, or if one of these lots are developed, we thought that there might be some privacy concerns with the location of the pool being in the front yard. Some additional information, the lot is zoned AG1. The adjacent properties here are owned by the same property owner. They're also zoned AG1. This is zoned R3, it's undeveloped, but there is a home here. and the future land use is rural neighborhood. And that concludes my presentation.
All right, at this time, we can entertain a motion to open public comment.
Mr. Chair, I move that we open the public hearing for application B21-004 located at 120 Russell Drive.
Second.
All right, properly moved by Ms. Elias and seconded by Mr. Carson. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 All
Aye.
right. Okay, and for public comment for each case, 10 minutes are reserved for these speaking in favor of each case, and another 10 minutes are reserved for those speaking in opposition to each case. Please state your name, address, and the council district within which your home resides when speaking on this matter. Staff, is there anyone here in favor of this application?
Yes, the contractor for the project, Mr. Dustin Massengill, is present.
Mr. Massengill.
Yes.
All right, do you have any comments that would you like to make about this case?
I would be happy to. Are we able to zoom in on the architectural drawing?
I can't zoom in, but I do have it. I do have another copy of the site plan. Hold on just a second.
Or could I potentially share my screen?
Yes, please feel free to share your screen.
Okay, let me see if I can do this. Share screen. Okay, can everyone see that?
Yes.
I'm going to zoom in here a little closer on the house. So as you can see, we've got, hopefully my arrow is coming through as well. I've got 261 feet from the corner of the house to the property line. I don't have a measurement for you from the edge of the pool, but it is about 60% of that distance. And so we've got, as we come down the driveway towards the house, we've got a circular drive here. The front door faces straight out this way. So this access here for one of the family members who has ADA requirements, and these are 100% needs. This is the grade that allows this possibility, along with drain field over here, septic system here. So if I'm hearing you right, we want to create a buffer here on the western side. Is that what I'm understanding?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm happy to field any questions if there's anyone who would like to comment or ask anything.
Well, this is actually the time where you get an opportunity to say why you're doing it, but we will get to questions in just a minute.
Sure. So yeah, the why, the child, the family member who has the ADA requirements, he responded well to, to aquatic therapy in their previous residence. And so having a pool for him is something they've wanted to do since they moved here 2 years ago. Through COVID, we weren't able to start this process, and that's what they've asked me to do for him now.
All right. Staff, is there any other person that's in favor of this application?
We don't have any comments for or against in our planning email.
Okay, and there's no one here against it. I know you said comments, but I just want to make sure nobody is online for it.
Correct.
Okay. All right, it seems as though we can close the public hearing on this matter. Unless Mr. Massengill has anything else? I don't think so.
I'm good, thanks.
Okay. All right, I entertain a motion to close public hearing on this matter.
Mr. Chair, I move that we close the public hearing for this application. I didn't see the number. Please forgive me. I think it's
It's okay.
VA 21-004.
All right.
Second.
Second by Mr. Ham, properly moved by Ms. Elias and seconded by Mr. Ham. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, that closes public comment, public hearing on this matter. Are there any members? I see one. If you can raise your hand and I'll go through and see if anybody has any questions. While I'm doing that, I see Ms. Elias.
And it's just for clarification for the staff. I just want to make sure the proposed condition to maintain a 200-foot undisturbed buffer does not mean that they have to plant a 200-foot buffer immediately adjacent to the pool. It's just that they have to maintain what looks probably already a 200-foot undisturbed buffer. Is
Yes,
that
ma'am.
correct? Okay,
I meant 20 feet. Did I write 200?
I think it says 200. Let me look again. Unless I read it wrong.
Yeah, so that's definitely my fault. I meant 20 feet. So I will make that edit. A 20-foot undisturbed buffer.
Okay, yeah. So, okay, that just means they have to maintain pretty much the buffer that they already have. They're not actually plant an additional buffer immediately adjacent to the pool.
Yes, ma'am. That was my intention.
Okay, thank you.
All right, are there any other members that have a question? Any other board members that have a question? Seeing none, I will entertain a motion on this matter.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion that we approve V 21-004 located at 120 Russell Drive.
Is there a second?
Second.
Oh, yeah.
All right, properly moved by Mr. Carson and seconded by Mr. Ham. Dana, you want to take the roll call on this one?
Yes,
Dana,
thank
before you
you.
do that, I'm sorry,
What?
Sir Chairman, may I ask permission to speak, please?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
I said, may I have permission to speak, please?
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, sir. I want to make sure, because there is, if there is in fact a grammatical error inside of the staff report, when the motion was made, it should in fact state the 20-foot buffer.
20-foot buffer, yeah.
Thank you
So
for that.
I'll restate the motion.
And with the conditions.
That's why we have such an amazing staff. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, Mr. Carson, are you making a motion, just so I'm clear as the chair, you're making a motion to approve this item with the 20-foot buffer and with the conditions listed by staff?
That's correct, Mr. Chair.
Okay. And Mr. Ham, are you fine with a second on that?
Yes.
And Ms. Reed, we ready to vote?
Yes, sir. Thank you for that. I appreciate it.
All right, no problem. Dana?
Yes, roll call vote. Mr. Mathis? Okay, I saw you. Mr. Carson?
Aye.
Ms. Elias?
Yes.
Mr. Ham?
Yes.
Ms. Harris?
Aye.
All right, that vote passes.
All right, thank you. So now that we've completed the new business, we'll move into other business, which is related to a petition for VA 21-003 for 1105 Research Atlanta Drive. The applicant is appealing an administrative variance denial to reduce the required parking by 10%. So we've had a little discussion on this one, trying to figure out the proper procedure for it. What's the pleasure of the board as to proceed? Ms. Elias?
Mr. Chair, I move that we defer application VA 21-003 for 1105 Research Atlanta Drive to the November 18th Zoning Board of Appeals meeting, such that it will give staff enough time to publish the public hearing notice per section 808.15 of the zoning code.
Second that motion.
All right, we have a motion properly moved by Ms. Elias and seconded by Mr. Ham. Now we're open for discussion. If it's the pleasure of the board, I do see a hand raised by Mr. Kirk from Troutman Pepper. Would the
Thank you,
board
Mr.
allow him? I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Yes, waiting for permission from the board to speak. And I will not be speaking on the merits of the case.
Is the board okay with hearing from Mr. Kirk?
Yes.
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 Okay, Mr. Kirk, go ahead.
Thank you, and I'll be brief. For the record, my name's David Kirk, partner at the law firm of Troutman Pepper, representing Walmart. I did listen in on your discussion and prior to the meeting, and agree with Ms. Elias and others that because this is an appeal of an administrative decision, it does require a public hearing, and because it is a public hearing, it does require proper advertising. And therefore, I agree with the motion that this should be deferred to allow for proper advertising. In addition, because we have this time period in which we could potentially settle this issue, I'd like to go on the record and say I'm open to talking with Ms. Reed, if she's open to talking with me about ways we might be able to resolve this without having to go to a hearing and potential further litigation on this.
Okay. Well, I won't speak for Ms. Reed right now, but what we will do is move forward with establishing what our next steps are. And then during the appropriate time, you can reach out to Ms. Reed or Ms. Reed reaches out to you, however you all work that out.
All right, thank you, sir.
And then let us know before the next meeting, but we appreciate your time today.
Appreciate your time as well. Thank you so much.
All right, is there any further discussion from the board? Nope.
No.
All right, Dana, we will do a roll call vote on this one as well.
Yes, sir. Mr. Mathis? I can't hear you, Mr. Mathis, you're muted. Was that a yes? Thank you. I hope that's a yes. Can you raise your hand if that's a yes, please?
Mr. Mathis, we can't hear you. Can you do a thumbs up for yes and thumbs down for no? All right, he says no.
That's a no. Okay. Mr. Carson?
Yes.
Ms. Elias?
Yes.
Mr. Ham?
Yes.
Ms. Harris?
Aye.
That vote passes 4-1.
All right, I am sure the staff and the attorney will work things out so we'll know exactly what we need to do for next month. All right, is there anything further from staff for us?
I can say that I'll follow back up with you directly, Chairman, regarding the conversation. If Mr. Kirk and I have a chance to discuss it, then you can know what happens next.
All right, I truly appreciate it.
Mr. Chair, can we stay over for about 60 seconds after we go offline? After the meeting concludes, just the board members.
Just having a regular conversation and not a meeting, right?
Right. I just have a question that I would just, it has nothing to do with nothing we've heard today. I just have a question.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So I think that's it. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we adjourn the October 21, 2021 meeting.
Second.
I second.
Properly moved by Mr. Ham and seconded by everybody. But we're gonna put Mr. Carson down, but all those in favor of adjourning, please say aye.
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 Aye. Dana, the ayes clearly have it.